Hello and welcome to Record Label Boss, the testing stream. If you're seeing this, then you're just clicking into my stream on a random note because I didn't announce this stream and I haven't told anybody about it. So welcome to the testing stream. This is the stream. Where I'm gonna where I'm gonna evaluate everything for the next season. As a lot of you know, I haven't talked for almost half a year. I have been away for a very long time, and I'm going to be coming back with Record Label Boss, the show that you all been waiting for, or at least some of you. But before I do that, I needed to test it today because we've been experiencing a lot of issues lately with all of our assets. So I'm going to do this stream and see how that goes. We had some network problems, which we fixed by changing all the switches and the entire network structure of the freaking studio. And we did a lot of changes. Also, we're streaming now on different services. If you're watching it, you know which service that we're on. Other than that, you're very welcome to ask me any question that you might have on the stream. We don't really have a topic for today. I'm just checking if everything works all right. So if you can hear my voice and the music, fine. I'll be happy if you give me a okay and tell me that what you're watching on the channel that you're watching it on is okay. So if you're hearing the music and my voice good, please let me know. Just drop an okay and say yes, I can hear you. That would be awesome. Also, I think I've never did like a direct to YouTube kind of thing as well. I'm doing that with a third client at the moment. Top Chat. I don't even know what that is, but obviously I have a Top Chat. Also, a lot of people on Reddit here I can see already. Welcome, Redditors. It's always nice to be on Reddit as well. This is essentially where I started. So if you have any questions, you're welcome to drop them in the chat. I should be able to see them. And then we can go on and do a little bit of a Q&A, where I'm just going to tell you some stories that I'm not going to tell on the actual show because the actual show hasn't started yet. All right, what we got here? Everything on Twitch seems to be going according to plan. Oh yeah, that's a big upload here on Twitch. About 7K. 7 kilobits per second, and it's like audio good on this end. Hey Calapanza, how you been doing? Welcome to the testing stream, dude. Are you just always on Reddit waiting for me to pop up or something? Audio is good. Thanks. That's a lot. Dude, I've been working on this freaking audio in this studio for a while, and I now have this passive microphone that is a little bit less sensitive to all the little noises that we have here. We have a soundstage here, but still you have a little bit of noise, you know, so that's better. And I changed so much. I don't know if you can even see this on the stream, but I've been building on this crap for like 2 weeks to make it better. But so I'm really happy. Also, I have the second camera here that you can see if you are anywhere. So hi, second camera. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it, but you can see my face from the other side now, which is a bit weird when you can see yourself from the side, but still. All right, everything on Twitch seems to be green. Boing. Yeah, and this happens. This totally happens. I press the button to activate movie shooting. All right. Are you fucking kidding me? This just turns off. Okay, yeah, so I have this camera. It's a Canon EOS 1300D, and I upgraded the firmware to some kind of like custom-made firmware so that you could possibly use it for streaming, and it kind of like keeps turning off. It like times out, and then the picture is gone. That is crazy. All right, so Twitch is doing all right. Let me see how YouTube is doing. This is insane when you have this many windows that you have to click in. And Gala says, seems that way, still hanging on RPen even though it's much quieter now. Yeah, Gala, I spent the holiday in Croatia, and I think I stopped streaming in July, and it's now almost October. So July, August, September. So for 3 months I haven't been streaming. I did a lot of work, and I come back to RPen, and it seems to be a little bit different now, you know. It used to be really busy, and it used to be like a little bit different than it was now. I think they changed how you can find streams or how you get listed or something like that. So I'm not entirely sure how that works now, you know, but I figure I just start and see how it is, you know. And in the 3 months that I've been on holiday, I've actually been, you know me, I've actually been working most of the time because I'm a horrible person like that. And we got a lot of stuff that's new, new artists, new music, all kinds of stuff that's been going on in the summer. And in the summer I even had COVID, heavy case of COVID, 6 weeks in bed with very high fever, and it was completely horrible. I lost 20 pounds. It was an experience in my life that I could completely go without, like, forever. If that hadn't happened to me, that would have been so great. So I was in Croatia on holiday, and I got it there on holiday. How bad can things be, really? I think it's the worst thing that you can do, because we were really careful, and I really paid attention to not have, COVID or anything like that. And we always, wash the hands, wear the mask, etc. and then through a very bad incident on the beach, one of our group caught the COVID and gave it to me, and then I had 6 weeks of COVID, which was very, very, very shitty, and I lost weight, and it was not nice. And instead of having a summer vacation, I kind of like had a, I don't know, lay in the bed for weeks, languishing kind of thing going on. So it was actually a very interesting time because it was a very hard time. And if any of you had a severe case of COVID, I think you can understand what that is and how difficult it was. Crazy, is all I can tell you. Alright, let me see here. I'm always checking, to see if everything is, to check if everything is alright. Yep, everything seems to be good. So, yeah, Reddit. I'm really excited to come back to Reddit and to see how the streaming is doing. And Gala says that sucks to catch it on holiday, but I imagine there's worse places to have COVID than Croatia. Glad you recovered. Yeah, it was. I have to say that we all had before 3 shots, so we weren't really worried about death or anything. But we did all have fairly high fevers, which is kind of like bad and shitty. So if you have like 39-degree fever for a week, it really tears you up, It really isn't easy. So I wasn't afraid of death or anything like that, but I wasn't able to eat or drink anything, and this is why I lost 20 pounds, All the fitness programs I did last year, none of them actually let me lose that much weight. Like having COVID did. It was fucking insane. It's all I can say, But don't do it. If you want to lose weight, don't get COVID. It's not nice. But I have to say that it's to me it was in. I don't even know what to do to lose 20 pounds. I wouldn't be able to tell you which kind of program you should do in order to lose 20 pounds, and I did that. And of course it was unhealthy because it was a lot of fluid loss as well, and I didn't drink enough, I didn't eat enough. It was all fucking crazy. And the first week I was there in Croatia, I was healthy, so that was nice. But the second week was horrible. And then after the second week, we went home, I think, and and then we were home for 5 weeks or whatnot. So there's that, being in your bed in the summer at the best time isn't really something that you should be looking forward to. So I'm gonna be, I'm going to be very reluctant to catch it again, because you can catch it again. I have some friends that had it like 3 times already. That was fucking insane. How can you have it 3 times, So I've only had it once, and I really had it up to here. I really had enough. I really don't need any more of it. That was crazy. I don't need that. Okay, guys. Oh, hold on. Not for Gala, but for the other people that are watching on Reddit. If you have any questions, my name is Avio. I'm the president of Kanzuro Records, which is my job that I do when I'm not languishing from COVID. So if you have any questions about the music industry, or if you're an artist, you want to ask me something, you're welcome to do so while we chat a little bit. And I essentially am doing a streaming test here. Hold on, let me see. I can switch perspectives as well here. Look at that. Let's go. Oh yeah, there you go. That's the face. And okay, here I'm lacking light. Okay, that's because I removed some of the studio lights, and now it's like dark. My face is in the darkness. Face is dark. Face dark. Mr. Face dark. Dark face. And this camera needs to go up a little bit still. I think it's too far down. Blah, 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 blah. Audio seems to be good. At least I'm satisfied. Compressor settings and everything seems to be good. Yep. By the way, guys, if you want to follow me for the actual show, you can follow me on Reddit, Twitch, or YouTube. And on Twitch and YouTube, it's Record Label Boss. I should have not done that. I should have just used my name. My artist name is Avio, but I don't know. Years ago, I thought it was a good idea to make, Record Label Boss as a fucking channel and username. And now it's kind of like stuck. So I have this problem to where my artist name is Avio. A lot of people know the show called Record Label Boss, and then the label's called Count Zero Records. So it's super confusing, and nobody knows what to follow or what to do. It's really annoying. So if you want to follow on Twitch or YouTube, it's Record Label Boss. Just type YouTube Record Label Boss, Twitch Record Label Boss. That's it. And on Reddit, it's, I think, Count Zero Records, Count-Zero-Records, and I'm going to be streaming, I think, Monday and Wednesday. But we'll see. I don't have a schedule for the next season yet. And if you're wondering what we do, we usually review music that people send us. So every day, it's actually insane. Every year we get about 30,000 demo songs from people that send us their music. And we have to review them, which of course we can't do. It's impossible to review 30,000. There's no way. So usually I get through around 6,000 or so per year of demos, and it's insane. And one day I was sitting in my studio and I was like super... I mean, you have to understand that listening to like 20 songs every single day in your life is really... It's a psychological problem. So I turned on the camera and I started streaming, and then people were watching it and they were like, yeah, this is cool, what is this guy doing? And this is how I got to it. And Galabranza says, I want to get the new booster that covers the variants. I caught it after 2 years, nothing, and full vaccination. Yeah, same as me. It's very much the same. I had it. I had all the boosters. I had all the shots. And I still got it because it's the newest variant. Because how can I tell? Because the typical symptoms of other variants I didn't have. I didn't have any kind of respiratory problems or chest problems or something like that. It was mostly like a weird flu where you only have fever. It's really weird. Lucky no high fever, just aches. What you working on for the label these days? Let's start with the successes. And this is a thing that I had not... Shit, I hit my microphone. That I have not been working on the summer, but that we did before the summer, because in music everything takes so fucking long. So the first thing that I want to say, and I'm going to say later on the show too, is that we placed our first song on MTV. Now, of course, MTV doesn't have the same kind of like standing it had when I was younger in the 90s and stuff. MTV was a big thing. But we placed one song from CIG featuring Shaila Hamadi, There Tonight, on an MTV show that is called Teen Mom Young and Pregnant or something. And it's a very interesting show to have one of your songs on. But they were looking for a song that was like kind of like a hip-hop song with a female MC. And some of you might know that CIG does hip-hop and EDM, and he usually does albums, but he doesn't rap himself. So Shaila Hamadi is doing rapping in the song there tonight, and MTV was obviously looking for a hip hop song with a female MC that is love. That is about love and relationships, and it's actually it's a really decent song with good vocals and nice lyrics, like most of the stuff that CI produces, and it got picked up by MTV, and I was like very happy when he told me, and big congratulations to CI for doing that. CIG is a guy that owns a label that we own a part of. It's an associated label, and we also brought him on board as director of music for USA, because he's very in tune with like hip hop and stuff. A lot of stuff that's going on over there in the States. So that was news number one. And then, what was it? Oh yeah, and then following up on that, his album that includes that song there tonight, with certain songs, got into the Apple charts in various countries. We have it on our webpage. I wrote it there. It's like Barbados, British Virgin Island, like a whole bunch of countries. Apple charts had, I think, Moment in there, or was it Feel the Lemonade? Don't know. So we're very happy for his chart placements there as well, because that doesn't always happen, you know. Well, hold on, I'm gonna. Yeah, there you go. And so that was really fortunate, you know. So from his album Field Trip, which we released some time ago before the summer, we now have one song on MTV in sync for a show, and we have other two songs in placements around the world. Again, very happy about it. CIG, very deserving, great producer, great guy. Just like all around happiness for me on this one. And then the second major news that I was hoping to be able to say one day about some of my artists who I really think are excellent is about Cygnus. Cygnus is a Colombian metal rock band that's been with us for 1.5 years, and the guys work really hard. They're really excellent. They have about 150 cover videos on our channel. You should totally look at that. They're doing great metal covers that a lot of people love, and they have 3 albums out that they worked on over the last years. They've been making music for quite a while, and they're one of the most hardworking bands. And the first album that they released, well, actually, they released 3 albums with us, but 2 of them were back albums that they had previously released, like small scale, and we took them and released them. And the first new album that we put out there, and we actually advertised, etc., Fire and Tales, had one song chart in Mexico, nevertheless. So we got a chart placement for Cygnus in Mexico. That was, I think, also Apple charts. And that made me very happy because it was a top 10 placement. And that is very, very good. You know, it's one thing to have a chart placement and the charts go down all the way to 200. And I myself had a chart placement before, which made me very happy, but it was around 40 or something. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't like, oh my god. But they actually got to I think it was number 10 in Mexico. Um, was it 10? Was it 7? I don't know. It's on our. It's hold on, I'll open it. I'm gonna have to open my own webpage in order not to say bullshit. Because we listed on our Discord server in the chart placement room, but also in the on the webpage. Let me just have a look at it because I put it there. All right, Cygnus number 3 in Mexico in metal with the song Valhalla. CIG number 7 with Feel the Lemonade. Number 10 with Feel the Lemonade. Cygnus number 14 with Valhalla. So Cygnus is number 3 in Mexico metal and number 14 in Mexico rock. That was some time ago, chart reporting until it catches up. It's always months. So like 3 months later, they're like, yeah, 3 months ago you charted, you know? Because you can't look at all the charts around the world by yourself. That's insane because there's 200 countries in the world and every country has about 100, not 100, but like 50 genres charts, etc. So if you're looking at it, that's 1,000 charts every day that you would need to be looking. So we have a chart reporting. Shout out to Cygnus Colombia and the charts in Mexico. That's right. So they were number 3 with Valhalla on iTunes Mexico in the metal. And they were number 14 with Valhalla iTunes Mexico in rock. Which is like, mind blown. So they charted in 2 different genre charts, in metal and in rock, which is great. I mean, of course, it's close. It's kind of like EDM and dance music or something, but still very, very respectable. And CIG there is at 7 and 10 with Feel the Lemonade, Apple Music in Gambia in Barbados in electronic. And then he's on 23, 29, Feel the Lemonade in Sierra Leone in Italy, big country, 29, Italy, electronic. So we had 3 new entries that are top 10 entries. And we previously, and I have to say that, only had 1 top 10 entry. That was Ken Tucker with his blues album, Come On Over, which placed number 1 in Apple Music in Cyprus. That, of course, major success for Ken Tucker. It was insane. But when I came back from holiday, instead of having 1 top 10 placement, we had 4 now. And I was like, what? What? Very, very, very decent, very good. I like it very much. Me like. So that was, I think that was the most, how can I say, when you work in music, you always hope that something happens with your artists, that some country finally sees the light, people somewhere enjoy the music that your artists make, and that you can place them, and that they can maybe tour, all these things, But you never know. It's never certain. It's never given. It doesn't. It's not like you push the button here and you get into the charts. It doesn't work like that. So when you do, it's always surprising. Because you've already given up. You're like, fuck it, this year we're not going to chart anything. It's going to, fuck, damn it. You got like place 187 with something, place number 125 with something, and you're like, what the fuck? All these songs are so good, they're not caring, I don't know what's up. We have this wonderful video and everything, but nothing, like, but then when it does happen, it's nice, and it's always a surprise. It's a surprise. Every time I do it, it's a surprise. Encoding overloaded. Consider turning down video settings. That's new. What? CPU usage 33%. Okay, if it's overloaded, I don't know. Okay, so yeah, that makes you really, really happy, because that means that there's something else going on. I think the thing that would be interesting to me next is that before the holidays, actually in May, I think, I started working on a new project, which is a Discord music bot. And we've been working diligently on that Discord music bot. It's the world's first Discord music bot that is legal. Every other Discord music bot is not legal. You're playing, like, you're violating the copyright of other people when you're playing the music. And so I said, hey, let's make a legal bot that is free for everybody to use and that will play the music of our artists, because we actually do own the copyrights. So we can make a Discord music bot that's free for everybody to use on Discord if you want to have music on your Discord server. And that bot is now on 2,500 servers and has over 300,000 users, which is amazing. And really, really great. And I'm really, really happy. And Galabranza says, after all the hard work, Chase how to make lightning strike twice. Yeah. I knew that that Cygnus's new album is really good. And CI's new album is really good. And CI's other album is also really good, and Cygnus, those are just two artists that are really good, you know, but you never know. You can have great artists and market the fuck out of them and tell everybody that they're great, and still nothing moves. There's a little bit of a randomness to it. There's a little bit of luck involved with everything, and to have it done twice, and to see that in the same report, you know, because after COVID and everything, I was so exhausted. I was like, you know, and when I'm really exhausted and tired, I don't do anything. I didn't do anything while I was sick with COVID. So eventually, when I come back from having COVID, I sit down and I do the chart reporting for the first time in a while, you know, because I'm assuming nothing is happening like usual, you know. And that was not the case. That was not the case at all. And I'm like, and they were like, chart placement, playlist, airplay. And I was like, what the fuck? You know? Because we also have a playlisting monitor and an airplay monitor to where we get the information if somebody puts one of our songs on their playlist, or somebody, a radio station that's in the monitoring, plays it, we get that, and then we get these alerts. But I hadn't logged onto the system in a while, and I now have it to where the system sends me emails when that happens, because I never want to miss it again, you know. But when you're working for such a long time on getting placements, and it never happens, and then it finally does, you're kind of like surprised about it. You're like, you know. And so I told the artists, and they were really happy, and I made some posts about it, and they were really happy. You know, a lot of people, just like with a label, it's the same with the artist. The artist could be working for decades. It's not a joke. They could be working for decades, and they would never get any kind of recognition for it. And hold on, do I have a different playlist? I'm working off the Max Beauty playlist. Oh man, record label boss. Okay. I don't know. So yeah, that was quite crazy. That's the only way that I could say it. And then of course the stuff with the Discord music bot, and I was thinking to myself, you know, there's a lot of people streaming. There's a lot of people online. They want to listen to music, and I hear a lot of bitching about major labels and of Twitch and other institutions. Don't use this copyrighted stuff. Don't use that copyrighted stuff. And I thought to myself, well, we have copyright to over 300 songs. Why don't we give it away? And that's what we do. We're actually giving away these songs. We have our own Discord music bot where you can listen to the songs for free. We have our own app for Android and Apple that you can download and listen to the music for free. And also, like 5,000 people downloaded the app. And I know that for some of you that might, seem very little because, but we're not a global operation. We're a small record label. So for me, having, I don't know, 10,000 people actively downloading the apps that play our music, and a totality of 500,000 people being exposed to the music just by us giving it away for free is actually excellent. I'm very, very happy with that, and I'm very happy that we can give away our music, especially to countries in areas that are less developed. We have a lot of downloads for our music app that are coming from Africa and Southeast Asia, places where people, might not necessarily have $10 to buy the album of that artist completely, but they can download our app or our Discord bot and listen to the music there. And I think that's perfectly fine. I think that since Spotify and Apple essentially don't really pay you for streaming anymore, the honor system seems to be completely okay to me. So if you stream our music and you don't pay anything, that's fine. If you like the artist, just buy the album. And just one person buying one album from us is usually more sorry, than Spotify pays for that artist for like 3 months. I just want to clarify that when I said we have chart hits, it means that you get like $20. So if you get into streaming charts like Apple, if you get in streaming charts like Spotify, etc., what you're looking at is not like thousands of dollars. What you're looking at is tens of dollars. So if you're number 3 in Mexico in Apple, it means that you're going to get maybe 30, 40, $50 in streaming income. That's what it is. Having a chart placement in the streaming chart means you're getting less than $100. There's no. Okay, now it's dark and I can't see why. Oh, here it is back. It doesn't mean you're gonna get a lot of money for it. So you're looking into. I'm just gonna check all around. Check. Check all around. Yep. Good. So you're looking for $30 or something, but it does give you credibility because not everybody has been able to achieve that. And then, of course, it depends on the amount of days or weeks that your title is in there. But usually it's not about the money anymore. Essentially, we have started to look at Spotify as a place that gives away music for free. Spotify is not a marketplace. They're not a seller of anything. I mean, they do sell stuff, but they just keep all the money. So, nothing comes back. It's not like anything comes back. So it's to us, it's fair to say, okay, we're gonna give away the music, and in return, we're gonna have people that I don't know, join us on our Discord server or buy something from the artist or support the artist in any kind of meaningful way. So we're trying to build a community of people that want to support the artists that they listen to, that say, hey, I'm gonna go to the concert, I'm gonna buy his album or a hat or a t-shirt or something like that. Oh, that's interesting. Now every time I look over the other monitor, this on the other camera, it can be seen. That's good. One camera, other camera, one camera, other camera. It's magic. Yeah. what else did we have to do? Oh, because I'm hearing it. Karma's T. We got a new song out by Karma's TU, which is a major collaboration with a big music producer in the Balkans, Mako Tomasovic, and sung by Mestina. Also got a nice video, and that's kind of a song that we're promoting in the Balkans area, and it's going pretty well there. Got about 250, 300,000 plays so far, and it's going well. So some of our artists are doing well, but it's mostly the artists that work a lot and that work very aggressively with us. We have a lot of artists who, let's just say, don't take advantage of having the infrastructure here, and kind of like do their own thing and don't really, I don't know, teamwork as well as they could. And generally, the artists that do better are the artists that really aggressively work with us, that do a lot of work. But it's not surprising that people that work hard are, on average, more successful. I wouldn't say that that's surprising, you know. So, yeah. Bum. Okay, so I'm testing all this stuff, and I haven't been able to put a dent in anything so far. Everything has been working really, really good. Yep. Oh yeah, I'm streaming to Record Label Boss channel here. I see, that's a tiny YouTube channel because we're not streaming to Ground Zero Records anymore. Ah yeah, and I'm streaming to Record Label Boss Twitch over here, yeah. Okay, that's also interesting. Because we started, I don't know if you're interested in this, but we started separating content a little bit. Because when we started with the label, we didn't have as much content as we have now. So we kind of like just put everything on one channel. Everything was kind of like on the YouTube channel. Everything was kind of like on the Facebook channel. And now we're starting to separate that a little bit and say, okay, you know, Meg's Beauty goes here, Record Label Boss goes here, Cygnus goes here, Ken Tucker goes here, so that when people come and want to see a certain artist, they're not flooded with what everybody else does. And as artists get bigger, we kind of like look to give them their own resources, but while they're small, they're benefiting from being on the label YouTube, on the label Facebook, etc., because that has a lot of followers. As long as the label has more followers than you know you're a small artist. Because people are really not interested in a record label. People, you know, I mean, how many people do you know that follow Sony or that follow Universal or Warner Brothers or something like that? People just don't do that, you know? We worked really hard to have a community of people that we say, okay, look, if you follow our label resources, we promise you will find artists that you like, and you will not be sorry that you followed us. We will introduce new artists to you in various genres that you will like. Because that's essentially our job as curators of stuff, to make sure that all the things that we put out are really, really good. And this is why people are following us. They're not necessarily following us because they're following a certain artist. They're following us because they're like, hey, what new stuff is going to come out? And it could be a new blues artist like Kelek, you know? Has a great following, is an excellent player, and everybody who knows anything about music, if you hear his playing, you're like, wow, this guy's really good. Now, you might not be the biggest fan of blues, but you will realize, you know, in what he does, he's really good. And that's kind of like the thing when you follow us. But now some of our artists having an audience large enough that, and so much content that we say, okay, we're going to take that content, we're going to put it aside, you know. Once you have like over 200 pieces of content, which I have with Record Label Boss, which Meg is approaching, which Cygnus has, that people can enjoy, then it becomes a question: where do you want to consume that content? Where do you want to have it? And where do you want to have your art? And then, you have a dedicated fan base, and the people that want to hear that. So we removed all of the streaming shows from our Count Zero Records YouTube and Facebook, and are featuring it now on smaller channels for each streaming show. I know it's a little bit of an inconvenience for people that really like the streaming shows, but it's much better for people that want to listen to the music on the Count Zero Records channel. Because if you have like multiple streamers, like 4, 5, 6 streamers, having like everyday shows that go to your YouTube channel, you'll have like 6 new videos every day. And then when you release a music video, it just gets drowned in there. So we're kind of like separating, and every streamer now has his channel. And if people want to, follow that channel, that means we're losing monetization for the streaming. But we're not really streaming at this point to make money, because neither YouTube nor Twitch offer any kind of model that would allow smaller streamers to survive in any meaningful way, or they offer any kind of discovery. So it's very, very hard to find new people that are interested in your stream. All right, guys, if you have any questions, meanwhile, you're welcome to ask. Arabanza, thanks for all the questions, and thanks for the welcome back. I'm very happy to see you here today. Man, I had completely forgotten how difficult it is to talk. When I started streaming, I never thought I was going to do I was doing 4 shows every week. And if you're talking for 3 hours, because I'm not a game streamer, I found out why it is so much more draining for me to stream 10, 12, 14, 16 hours every week. And why people can just be online for 20 hours at a pop. And that's because when you do game streaming, you just play. And people just be like, whoosh, whoosh, And it's a lot easier because you're not talking. So, in a sense, what I'm doing usually is a high-intensity stream with not a lot of breaks. Not a lot of breaks. I'm essentially talking all the time. Okay, so YouTube is working fine. Twitch is working fine. Even though I was bitching a bit. Reddit is working good. Yeah, so that was the crazy stuff that happened this summer. 6 weeks of COVID, it was really bad. And then, the chart hits and the things that are working good and the bot and everything, So there's I don't know. If you want to be an entrepreneur in music, you really have to want it. Everybody that I know that got into the music industry because they thought they were going to make lots of money or be famous quickly or something, all failed. And the few people that making a lot of money, by the way, are all in advertisement. Everybody who's making a lot of money right now in music is in advertisement and provides fake advertisement to amateur artists. That's the number one source of income at the moment. And I don't know. I don't think I'm ever going to do that. Because when I started the business, I said to myself, I'm not going to do something that's ethically questionable. I don't want to do that. I want to do something to where every day that I get up, I'm happy, with what I do and who I am. And selling fake advertisement, even though it works really, really well, to amateur artists, isn't something I will ever do. I did think that we were going to sell real advertisement, real services, and we are developing that, by the way. Hey, that's another thing. Over the summer, I had this idea that we were going to sell services that genuinely you can't find on the internet. And I know that sounds like a trope, but I swear to God, it's not. I talked about this a lot last season in many streams. I want to make services that amateur artists usually don't have access to accessible to amateur artists. And the reason why they don't have access to is because large corporations like CD Baby, Spotify, Apple, etc. are not interested in working on a detailed basis with people. They want to have scaling, fully automated stuff to where you click a button, pay $10, and then a script executes something, and that's it. There's nobody offering actual, and I do mean actual promo campaigns in other services to artists, and we do now. And there's a webpage for it that I forgot. and physical product for our artists. Yo, we finally got it. After negotiating with one of the world's largest creator of physical product for artists, which is CDs, vinyl, tapes, that kind of stuff, we now have it in our program, in our internal artist program, to where artists can say, I want to have a vinyl pressing, I want to have a CD pressing, I want to have tape and all that good stuff, you know. And with distribution, and worldwide shipping and taxes and everything handled, because what a lot of people don't understand is it's one thing to have something, and it's another thing to have it done right. What about the shipping? What about delivery? What about the taxes? You know, all these things. I think in services we have it now. Let me click this quickly. Yep. Boom. Yeah, I think I linked it up already. So you can get consulting services from us now. So that's maybe interesting for somebody who says, okay, yeah, I don't want to sign a contract, anything. I just want to have somebody who can counsel me on certain things which a lawyer would not necessarily be able to do. Unless he's an IP lawyer, and then you're going to pay 10 times the price that you're paying from us, and we're experts in music law, for example. So you have consulting, mixing and mastering. And the rest is in the internal store. We're currently not offering it to everybody. We're just offering it to our artists first. And there's campaigns in there. There's a lot of really great stuff and really well thought out things in there that we're offering to our artists if they so want it. And I think the service idea that I have for the label has a very simple root. I want to do what all the other people say they do, but don't actually do. Just do what you say, you know? And there's a lot of people that pay a lot of money for advertisement. And unbeknownst to them, the only thing that happens is that the advertisement providers pocket 80% of the money and use the other 20% to pay usually either Russian or Chinese bot farms to create the fake traffic. Because that is the easiest way to do it. There's some other ways to do it as well that work in a little bit more elaborated. But at the end, it's always like they take 80% and then they use 20% to do some kind of like fake advertisement. And the artists are like, I got 3,000 plays on my song. And I'm like, okay. So that's what I've been thinking about. Providing actual services. And I have to say one thing though. It's not going to be cheap, and this is the problem, But we do offer, for example, I'm not kidding you, we are offering a 1 million plays package to where we will make sure that your song, your video, gets 1 million actual plays. And exposure to 60,000 music industry professionals. So we will promote your song to 60,000 professionals and about 5 million, 6 million, 7 million normal people, you know? And we say, okay, you're going to get about 10 either playlistings or blog placements and a million plays. And this package is in our artist store now. You can't say it's internal. But this is what I'm talking about. And you can do this because it doesn't have a stupid price like $19.95. Oh, let me... Oh, I haven't linked it on the main page yet. What? I think it's that. I think it's like a secret link for now. But let me check. Oh man, no, I can't even remember it. Where is it? Wow, okay, I found out that it's not linked to... Only somebody like I could do that. Yep. Yeah, it's not on there. Okay. Cannot currently click on it because I forgot to link it up. Oh my god. Only me. Now, I did post a link in our artist channel on Discord. Hey Maniac, how you doing? Yeah, I haven't been on here for like 3 months, my man. That is insane. I'm doing a technical test at the moment, you know. It's not really my scheduled time to do anything now. But, you know, all the new setup, I needed to test it. So, welcome back, and I'm hoping I'm gonna start streaming soon again. That's a lot of interesting things, I think, that happened. And that we can talk about, and there's more shit every year. Every season is actually more, I don't know, serious, wide, weird. Artist Chop! I have it here, where the fuck is it? How's life been? Oh, I had a bad case of COVID for 6 weeks. Had high fever for 2 weeks. Lost 20 pounds. Got COVID in holiday. It was... And then we had 4 chart placements or more. 2 top 10 chart placements. And MTV picked up one of our songs. So, yeah. Light and shadow, I would say. Light and shadow. Da, 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 da. Alright, here it is. How is that shit not linked? What is fighting you? Yeah, I didn't call it the 1 million plays package, but I probably should. Bum, 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 bum. Because it's such a great name. So I'm gonna call it the 1 million plays package. How's life been up and down? Oh yeah. But how much it did be? Yeah. It's gonna be a few thousand. Yeah, we have this beautiful page. Can I show you this page? No, I don't have any kind of like show the page to somebody thing. How do I do that? I need to go to OBS. And then I need to add like a screen capture or something. There's new music coming from Matt Reed as well. I've heard it already. It's pretty cool. He wants to just shoot it out. I said, dude, we gotta make a video. But he's like, oh, let's put it out. I'm like, nah. Screen cap. Woohoo! It's all over my face. Let me quickly transform that with my own. Because I need to, cut it a little bit so you don't have this huge thingy. For waterfall. And then I can maybe pull it up here to the side. On the outside looking in. Alright, now you can see it a little bit, So this is our artist shop. Where our artists can say what they want to do with their release, so they can do here very cool. I put up the things, vinyl and DVDs and CDs. And when you go in, there's various options. Let's click in here. And you can choose, between a very simple run and a huge run up to 10,000 different types of vinyls and different types of legal and distributive things that you might want to have. And then down here we have various campaigns and various very cool things like Croatian and Balkans market entry. It's like a whole package of shit. Real-time analytics, playlisting promotion campaign, DJ promotion campaign, mixed music, Spotify, Apple, songwriting service, mixing, mastering, So all kinds of stuff that artists can use. And the 1 million plays package is also going to go here. That people want to use to further their career. And Vaniac says what got picked up by MTV. The song There Tonight by CIG from the album Field Trip featuring Shaila Hamadi as a female MC was picked up by MTV for the show Teen Mom Young and Pregnant. And every time I say that, I smile because it's like... I don't want to say it's the dumbest show, but man. But I think nowadays MTV has mostly shows like that, They have like Jersey Shore type of reality, something weird thingy shows. I think it's like kind of their deal at the moment. It's not so much music anymore. I don't think that people discover music nowadays on MTV. I have to say, I'm very ashamed to say it, but I haven't watched MTV in like a decade, maybe. It's crazy. So yeah. So MTV chart placements, lots of new services, Discord bot, videos, lots of stuff going on. That's all I can say. Dum 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 da da dum. Very, very heartfelt piano music by Mike D. Okay, so yep, and this is what I'm trying to get to. On the one hand, connecting a lot of people with our music on the user side, like enabling fans to get access to our music without paying anything for it. So, better offer than I want to make a better offer than Spotify. That's on the fan side. And on the artist side, I want to give them services that they have never had access to, that they could never do because nobody was selling it or rendering it before, because it's just too easy to scam people. And quite frankly, I am baffled. I have to say that I'm baffled. There's about 5 million releasing amateur artists in the world. That means that 5 million artists that have released music on an international level to Apple, Spotify, etc., whatnot. 5 million. But out of those, against those, opposite of those, are about 300,000 professionals. So worldwide, there's about 300,000 signed / professional artists. So that's much less, of course. Um, and the amateur artists are very, very underserved. Nobody even has a program or a plan to render any kind of services to them other than CD Baby saying, okay, we're going to upload your shit to Spotify. Or Spotify saying, run my retarded audio ads, which really aren't going to do anything for you. And then everybody's like, hey, let's fuck them over. And so every new service that's created is just a service that's essentially how to fuck over one of the 5 million indie artists into paying us lots of money while we're not doing anything for them. And it's amazing to me that companies have not yet understood those 5 million people as customers. And that's because they don't take them serious. They think they're just 5 million losers, essentially, that are never going to be real musicians anyway. And they don't give a shit about them, so all they do is offer them fake services because they really like to buy it. The problem is that among these 5 million people, many of them are not real experts in the industry, and they're more than happy to buy fraudulent services because they have no idea. And in a market where it's so easy to cheat people, you'll find a lot of cheaters. In a market where people just really have no idea what it is that the company does for them when they pay them, a lot of companies just opt for take the money and don't do anything. And the most difficult thing for us is actually to tell them that we are actually doing something about it, that we are different, because they don't know that they're being cheated in the first place. So when you tell them, yeah, I'm not going to cheat you like everybody else, I'm actually going to do the work, they're like, what are you talking about? I've been doing campaigns with this and this guy, this and this service, and it's always been working for me. I always got listed on playlists, I got listed here, I got listed there, and I said, yeah, but it's all fake. Those are all bot lists. There is not a single actual person on any of these playlists, and all the plays that you got are all bot plays. Nothing that you did so far has increased your audience and your fan base. And then it takes a while for people to accept that, because this camera is gonna beat the death of me. Because who likes to be cheated, and who likes to understand that I don't know, the last $500 they spent were all for nothing. And then once they do understand that, they're like, okay, we gotta get somebody that actually does it, and then they have to understand that we actually do it for them. And by then, the 5 million potential customers turn into, I don't know, 50,000 maybe. And this is actually our number one problem. So if you can give me any kind of hint on how I can make people understand that they are essentially being had, and that there's a place where they can go where they're not being cheated, that's good. But this is actually the my number one problem is to communicate, or challenge, I would say. The challenge is to communicate to people that if you're one of the 5 million indie artists, your distribution service is cheating you. Your advertisement service is cheating you. Pretty much everybody in the industry is cheating you, and they're doing it because they can. Because you, as an independent amateur artist, don't actually know that you are being cheated, and you're happy to work with these people because you don't know any better. So it's kind of like, you know, it's not something that a lot of people want to hear. But let me know if you have any insight on how I could make that sales pitch. I'm not a sales guy, you know. And we do know from first-hand experience that all of these things work, because whenever we do even come close to anything, people will give you money as long as it's very little. If you just tell them you're going to promo something, you know, people will give you $10. um, if they can read their name on a website. That's, by the way, what a lot of people also do. They make a blog and then put it on there, And then people figured out, why not make a fake blog. So now the world is full of like fake blogs. I mean, the first people that did that were the major labels. It's how they broke artists like Billie Eilish, etc. They just have a fleet of 200 or 300 completely fake blogs, which are underwritten by the major label, and every time one of their big artists is coming out, 300 blogs are writing, "Oh my God, have you seen that new artist?" And by then they're long under contract with the major. But you can do that as an indie artist as well. You can pay blogs to print you shit, But what what indie artists usually don't do is, what's your reach? It's the most important metric for us when we work with an advertisement provider. Is what is your total reach, and what is your actual active reach? Because passive and active reach is different. Also, for example, we as Count Zero Records have a passive reach of around 1 million. So all around the world, 1 million people follow our various channels. That's our passive reach. That means that's how many people are following us. That does not mean that when we communicate something, this 1 million people will actually see that or read that or consume that or have that. The active reach will only be like a tiny fraction of the passive reach. And then you have to know, and then you have to say, okay, what's your active reach? How many people are actually going to see that ad, that song, that link, whatever it is, and then get paid for that. So what indie amateur artists usually get caught in is pages that have a huge or playlists that have huge passive reach, because it's all fake followers, and no active reach. So people say, I got added to a playlist that has 40,000 followers, but I only got 3 plays. And that right there tells you something, because that is not even possible. If you have 50,000 followers that are active followers, that are playing your playlist, that are using your playlist, you should have, I don't know, 1,000 plays a week at the very least. One out of 50, 1 out of 100 maybe. And if you're seeing this huge difference between passive and active reach, it's an indication that there's something fraudulent going on there. And if you're looking down the barrel of the advertisement gun, you'll find that pretty much every advertisement provider is doing just exactly that. They're essentially inflating their reach and making you pay for passive reach, for things that aren't even there. Just numbers on a sheet. And we have advertisement options that I painstakingly built over years that have a very high active reach. And I cannot say what they are, and I cannot let them get out, because the premise of our active reach is that we, and only sometimes, probably not more than 10 times a year, send these guys something. And what it is essentially is a list of people that are actual people that work in radio stations, that are DJs, that are producers, that are music buyers, that are music supervisors, that said, okay, you can send us your stuff, but don't spam us with shit. And every time you send us something, it needs to be the genre that we're asking you for. It needs to be well supported with marketing, which means music video, marketing campaign, etc. And it cannot be shit. And if I have that, then I can send it to them for their consideration. I'm not paying anything for that other than the technical system, which also costs some money. But I have a very large group of about 60,000 people worldwide, and every one of them will eventually check out that promoted stuff. And when I say every one of them, I mean about 30%, because the rest will just delete it, not see it, have changed jobs, or no longer interested in that genre. So you do have a fall off, but still, 30% of 60,000 people is a lot of people. And this is something that you can't get to as an indie amateur artist, and the reason for it is, just imagine that you could. Imagine that this list of 60,000 people was public for 5 million people, and then 5 million people would send them 50 million emails every year. And emails every year, once a month. And now you know why advertisement doesn't work the way that independent amateur people think it does. If artists had access to these people would be spammed the fuck. And whenever that happens, whenever an artist gets actually a hold of one of these lists and emails, or phone numbers, etc., people will change their contact details immediately, because nobody wants to receive. The other day was so good. So there's an artist who somehow built a list of label people and insists on sending not with BCC but with CC. So we all get the songs, but we also get the addresses of who he has sent it to. So he sends his song to 70 label people. It was really funny, And he's like, yeah, here's my song, blah, blah, blah. And one guy actually wrote back, and he wrote it to everybody in the email on that CC, And he's like, thank you for sending me and 73 other labels your song. Because people are not really happy when you send them stuff that it's just part of a list. And they haven't considered which label does which genre, which market, etc. People are not really happy to get spammed, and that's essentially the reason why any kind of advertisement that you could buy for $19.90 doesn't work. Simply because, just imagine, how can I say, a tree has apples, okay? So there's a tree that has apples, and every year that tree grows 100 apples. So if every year 100 people come to harvest, everybody gets an apple, right? But if the word about that tree gets out, and all of a sudden 5 million people come to harvest the apples, nobody gets apples anymore. Just the first 100 people, and then 4,999,999 people, don't get any. You see what I mean? Everything that's public is immediately burnt. I have contact details, for example, for music supervisors, which are people that buy music for TV shows, and they will give you, as the head of a label or the head of A&R of a label, maybe their contact details, maybe. There is no way, and they're always saying, please make sure this doesn't get out, because then I have to close it. But never in the history of man would they give that to any artists, so that they can be spammed. So when people are saying, it's weird that labels are gatekeeping, it's actually what people want from us. People want to have a label in front of the artist in order to make sure that what they're sending out, how they're sending out, that it is professional. And that it is in a way that they want to have it. Now, can you do that as the artist? Yes, you could do it professionally. Would they accept it from you? Yes. Would you have to do the same to get to all this information that I had to do? Yes. But I have one thing. I buy all this stuff for 50 artists, which means the costs is per artist is 1/50th. Virtual costs, because we're paying it as the label. So you as a person, as an artist, would have to spend tens of thousands of dollars just to get the list going. you'd have to network. You'd have to go to all these meetings and gatherings and say, hello, I'm such and such. Can I please have your contact data? All the stuff that we do, but we do it for every artist, if you know what I mean. So if you were to expend as much time and money as a label typically does for networking, you would have the same results if you were competent in networking. But that is not realistic, because then you would need to give up your job as an artist and you'd become essentially you'd become a manager. And you'd have to pay a lot of money. So when people say, why can I not have the contacts that you have? It's very simple. It's time and money. You only have 24 hours the same way that anybody else has 24 hours. But the label guy has 24 hours, and when he works on networking all the time. And you work on making music, and not on networking. So what you're essentially buying is somebody else's time and expertise and effort. And a lot of people don't understand that. They're like, well, how difficult is it to send an email? It's actually not very difficult to send an email, but it's very difficult to get to the point where you can reach 60,000 actual music industry professionals with one email, and they're actually going to read it. So the action itself is meaningless. It's the preparation for that action that gives it meaning. It's not sending one email. Yeah. Okay, sending one email takes me not even 10 minutes. It takes me like an hour, because I upload the music video, I upload images, I upload text. I make a text about how we're supporting it with marketing. I think about what genre is it, which shows that they could play it on, would work great in a show in this genre. You could play it here and here. I actually think about it, and I give them all the media, all the links, all the audio files, and a text that they can take. And a lot of magazines and newspapers then take the texts that we send them and just put this shit in the newspaper. I can show you multiple newspaper articles where they just put in the paper what I wrote them. So you don't want to write some bullshit with spelling errors, etc., because then they're not going to take it, or they're going to write your bullshit. So you're going to essentially have to write the press article for them. And once you have everything ready, a wonderful package of easy-to-use marketing stuff, boom, whoosh. Then you send it out, and then people... And I had radio stations writing back, this is a great song, we're going to play it on this and this show, thank you so much. This is what happens when you do things right, and when you do things wrong, then just essentially nothing happens. And this is why I'm saying, that these services are good / important / not really talked about at the moment for people. And I want to bring that to people, but this is a bespoke service. Bespoke, it's a UK thing, I think. It's not something that everybody will want to have, that everybody is ready for, that everybody needs to have, etc. And it's not something that CD Baby will ever do, because these 60,000 people don't want to receive 20 emails from CD Baby every day, spamming them with 5 million independent artists. And this is why the big scaling tech companies don't do it. Because it wouldn't work if everybody does it. It only works if it's curated and supported. And everything I'm doing, CIG is doing his own fucking thing with different people. CIG has a big network and good connections to DJs, and he has big name DJs support his releases. Same thing. He's networking just in a different direction than I am. And then you put that together and you're like, hey, who has connections? We have a new song. It's this and this kind of song. Where could we place it? Do you know a DJ here? Could you get one of the big DJs to kind of like endorse it? How much would we have to pay for an endorsement? It's all money. Yeah, but you can pay anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 and a big DJ will endorse it, There's their own networks where you can buy endorsements from DJs and all kinds of things like that. You can buy radio plays and radio stations. And there's a lot of things you can do, but none of them are available to the 5 million independent amateur artists. And I think this is what I want to get into, because a lot of them are actually, quite frankly, good enough to use it. The only thing that I cannot do is take some crappy music and give it that promo, because then people would not stop listening to me. And I don't want that. That's another thing people don't understand, you know. The reason why their marketing service doesn't work is because their marketing service doesn't have any kind of quality control. The only service that will take every song in existence is a fake service. A real promotion service where I send something to an actual DJ of a certain radio station that I actually know because I've talked to them for 3 years. I cannot send them shit. If I do that 3 times, they will block me or they will not listen to my stuff anymore. So I have to be really, really rigorous. And this is something that artists don't understand. There's a lot of artists out there that are among these 5 million. And when you say to them, dude, you're not at that level where you should do this kind of advertisement campaign yet. You should maybe invest some money in yourself, get some more training, vocal training, production training, etc. Get better, and when you're really, really good, then we're gonna look into making a real professional campaign together. A lot of people are fucking upset about this. They will say, oh, I deserve it, I'm good, all I need is exposure, I just need fans to listen to my music and I will be a star. I get that all the time. And I tell people a lot that they're not ready and that they should not spend the money. So many people, I say, don't spend any money. Please don't spend any money on ads. And they're like, what should we do? Buy some of your stuff? And I say, no, don't buy anybody's stuff. Go watch YouTube videos, get better in Ableton, and learn to sing. Go to your local music school, find a vocal trainer that you like, and train singing. Hook up with an EDM producer, a hip-hop producer that you like, and ask them to sit in and watch them work. A lot of people just go too quickly from... I just made my first song to I'm paying money to promote that song. If you just made your first song, unless you're fucking God or Mozart or Beethoven or somebody who, by the way, started doing music when they were 6 and they became famous when they were 12. At that time, they already had 6 years of training. I'm just saying, when you just made your first song, you don't need promotion. You need training. And instruments. Shit. Buy yourself a new synthesizer. Don't fucking invest in marketing. It's too early. Oh, I have a cramp. Oh, it's from sitting here. Oh, shit. So, look at me suffering. Many people are just so insistent on, I need to be promoted now, I need to be heard now, I need to get out now. And then when I give them the free advice, you know, you don't have to pay anything to me. You can go on our Discord server and you can drop your demo there, and I'll let you know if I think you should seek professional help and get somebody to help you with promo. We're far away from me offering you anything. I'll give you free evaluation if I think you should be spending money on promoting your music, yeah? And now I'm like, I don't know. They're like, please, tell me honestly. I'm like, okay, if you're really, really good, you're 3 years away from getting into a mentorship program with us. And then you'd be mentored for another 3 years. And then 6 years from now, you could be ready, because I see a lot of talent. And people are destroyed. People are like, I cannot believe that what you said. I'm releasing music. I have people that like my music. And I said, yeah, it's all good and well, but you asked my opinion. That's what I think about it. So, but of course, the people that provide these kind of marketing solutions and playlisting service and playlist pitching, and Submit Hub and Groover and everybody is like, yeah, you should totally do the advertisement. Yeah, that's what you need. You need to get out there. You need to get your music heard, and then everything will be good. When in most cases, that isn't the case at all. And this is why the churn rate that we have for demo submissions, we get 30,000 demo submissions. We listen to 6,000. We invite 60 to talk to us, and we sign 6. So out of 1,000 songs that we listen to, we usually pick up 1 artist, and that's about the relationship, 1 out of 1,000 amateur artists is ready to go. So if you're looking at the 5 million amateur artists that you have today, 1 out of every 1,000 would be ready to go. So 5,000, and this is a hard pill to swallow for a lot of them, and this is why offering professional services to amateur artists, you're in a very difficult situation, because the people that would take advantage of them are telling them exactly what they want to hear. There's a lot of institutions out there that are telling them exactly what they want to hear, that are telling them, whatever it is that they're... You just need a playlisting service so you can get listed on Spotify and get a lot of plays on Spotify. Everything with that sentence is wrong. The best advice that I can give for the music industry on how to most effectively promote your music, and this is not a joke, this is a quote that comes from Deadmau5, I think. The most effective thing you can do to promote your music is networking. It's not Spotify, it's not Apple, it's not plays, it's not videos, nothing like that. It's networking. If you can get to one important person, they can leverage your song in a way that you couldn't in 100 years. So if you were to ask me what should I do, make a list of all the labels that you like, find out how to contact them, and keep sending them all your stuff. And eventually one of them will pick it up. Get into the sync pool, but make connections yourself. You cannot be afraid of making connections. Make connections with local TV stations and radio stations and offer them to play, perform, do an interview. All these things, and the people that I see that are very efficient in networking are usually successful. So I have a guy that he doesn't really advertise himself at all, but what he does is he signs up for every single talent show that is televised everywhere in the world. So there's like a talent show. There's like 3 or 4 or 5 talent shows in every country in the world. Superstar and SingStar and whatnot have it. So this guy applies to 5 talent shows in every country 4 times a year, because they usually make the shows 4 times a year. So this guy sends out hundreds of applications for talent shows. And eventually, he gets picked. And then his music all of a sudden has hundreds of thousands of plays from real people. Now, would you be able to do that? Answer, of course, very difficult. You'd have to spend a lot of money to get that kind of advertisement impact. That's what he does. $0. 0 money spent. Essentially boosted himself up into the charts, into an artistic career by networking with people that have access, that have reach. That's what I would say, network with people that have reach. Write to your favorite streamers, ask if they play your song. Building the reach yourself is probably the hardest thing to do. So if you're going down that alley, and this is why everybody's trying to advertise, and now I'm gonna stop talking about advertisement. That because building reach is very, 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 very fucking expensive, and that's why advertisers love it, because that is the way that they can make a lot of money. What money is there if you tell somebody, hey, networking is the most efficient way to promote your music, and all of the networking just takes time, it's completely free, you don't have to spend any money? Nobody's going to tell you that. People are going to say, yeah, build the reach yourself. You should do Instagram ads, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Google ads, Spotify ads, Apple ads. Yeah, you can, you know. You're going to be spending tens of thousands, and you're still not going to have a meaningful audience. So, you know, if you don't even have, if you don't already have a certain following, you probably should stay away from paid promotion services, because it's not going to elevate you to anywhere you are not already, you know? All right, that's it. You know the tangents that I always go on. All right, guys, if you don't have any questions, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you for being on the test stream today. Thank you to Galabanza and Vaniac for being on today. As always, if you have any questions, you're welcome to join me at our Discord. Hey, it's currently just coming through. It says here, join our Discord community at countzerorecords.com/Discord. That will prompt you to our 24/7 Discord server where there's thousands of people, musicians, and all kinds of fans and very wonderful people that will want to chat with you, where you can put your demos and we'll listen to your demos. Everything about music and us, we're all there. That's countzerorecords.com/Discord. My name is Avio. Thank you for being on this test stream for Record Label Boss. I will let you know about the schedule for the actual show soon enough, I hope. And I will see you then. And now I'm going to... What am I going to? Oh, help. I'm going to get out of here by switching to Out New, which is the scene for getting out. Thanks for being here. I'll see you on Record Label Boss. YouTube and Twitch, Record Label Boss. I'll see you.
It's